When you look back on the biggest trades in sports history, you'll often see that most of them were incredibly one-sided. The Boston Red Sox got nada when they sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. However, some major sports trades worked out well for both sides. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we dive into 10 sports trades that benefited both teams. And a big giant shout out to Orion Comet for suggesting this list. We do hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, feel free to click subscribe down below for more cool videos every single day. Number 10. Canucks trade Roberto back to Florida. The Canucks originally acquired Luongo from Florida in 2006. He became their all-time franchise leader in wins with 252 and led Vancouver to 6 division titles and a trip to the 2011 Stanley Cup Final. But his brutal contract and discontent playing in a demanding market forced Luongo into asking for a trade. Vancouver also wanted to rebuild, but his contract was a huge disaster. Nonetheless, Florida reacquired Luongo in 2014, taking his bad contract off Vancouver's hands. Luongo helped Florida win the Atlantic Division in 2016 after winning 35 games. One man's trash is another man's treasure, right? Number 9. Vikings trade Percy Harvin to SEAHAWKS. Harvin was among the most flashy wide receivers during his days with the Minnesota Vikings, but his talents were wasted with mediocre quarterbacks. Many traded him to the Seattle Seahawks in 2013 for first and seventh round selections. Harvin played in just one game during the 2013 regular season, but he proved to be a big weapon in the playoffs. He had an 87-yard kickoff return touchdown in Super Bowl 48, helping Seattle win their first Super Bowl. The Vikings used the first-round pick from Seattle to draft Xavier Rhodes, who has quietly emerged as one of the NFL's best shutdown corners. Number 8. Eric Lindros trade. The Quebec Nordiques owned the top pick in 1991 and opted to draft Eric Lindros, who was billed as the next Wayne Gretzky. Lindros immediately refused to play for Quebec, however, and was traded to the Philadelphia Flyers. Lindros scored 290 points and 659 points in his time with Philly, winning a Hart Trophy. The Nordiques got 5 players in the first-round pick, which included Swedish sensation Peter Forsberg. Quebec did relocate to Colorado in 1995, and the Avalanche won 2 Stanley Cups with Forsberg's heroics. This was a giant trade that worked out well for both, especially if you're looking at it from an Avalanche point of view. Number 7. Lakers trade Shaq to Miami. After leading the Los Angeles Lakers to NBA championships every year from 2000 to 2002, Shaquille O'Neal became disgruntled with the team management and demanded a trade. In 2004, the Lakers traded Shaq to the Miami Heat in exchange for Lamar Odom, 2 other players, and a first-round draft pick. Odom wasn't quite as dominant as Shaq, but he averaged double-digit points and over 8 rebounds per game every year as a Laker. He and Kobe Bryant guided the Lakers to the NBA championships in 2009 and 10. Oh, and Shaq led Miami to the NBA title in 2006. Championships all around. Number 6. Mike Richards becomes a king. Richards was the franchise face of the Flyers from 2006 to 11, constantly putting up 20-goal and 60-point seasons while leading them to the Stanley Cup Final in 2010. But his constant partying made management frustrated, and he was dealt to the Los Angeles Kings in exchange for power forward Wayne Simmons, promising prospect Braden Shen, and a second-round pick. Though Richards' offense went way downhill in LA, his grinding and strong defensive game helped Los Angeles win the Stanley Cup in 2012 and 14. Meanwhile, Simmons hit the 20-goal mark in 2014, 15, 16, and 17, with the latter 2 years being 30-goal seasons. Chen also became a top scorer in Philly, putting up 20-goal seasons in 2014, 16, and 17. 2 cups for LA and 2 reliable scores for Philly. What a deal. Number 5. Chiefs trade Jared Allen to Vikings. Jared Allen was a star pass rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs, racking up a total of 43 sacks in his 4 seasons there. But the Chiefs traded him to the Minnesota Vikings in 2008, bringing a return of 1 first-rounder and 2 third-round picks back to Kansas City. Allen was a star for the Vikings from 2008 to 13, racking up double-digit sacks each year, including 22 in 2011. The Chiefs used the first-round pick to select Pro Bowl tackle Brandon Albert and one of the third-round picks to draft Jamal Charles, who had 5 1,000-yard rushing seasons in Kansas City. Number 4. Brendan Shanahan becomes a Whaler. Brendan Shanahan reportedly had an affair with teammate Craig Janney's wife, Catherine. This led to the St. Louis Blues trading away Shanahan to the Hartford Whalers in exchange for Chris Pronger. Shanahan played 1 season for Hartford and scored 44 goals and 78 points. He was traded to the Detroit Red Wings after 1 year as a Whaler, bringing stars Paul Coffey and Keith Primo to Hartford. The Blues got a future Hall of Famer in Pronger. He took home the Hart and Norris trophies in 2000 and made the Blues a powerhouse in the West. Looking way back, this trade did work out quite well for both sides. Number 3. T-Wolves ship Kevin Love to Cleveland. The Minnesota Timberwolves had a franchise star in Kevin Love, but wanted to start a rebuild. As such, they dealt him to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2014, with first overall selection Andrew Wiggins and draft bust Anthony Bennett heading to Minnesota. Love and LeBron James helped Cleveland win their first ever NBA championship in 2016. Meanwhile, Wiggins has shown flashes of becoming among this generation's greatest players, putting up over 20 points per game in 2016 and 17, a title for Cleveland and a franchise star for many. Number 2, Roberto Alomar and Joe Carter become Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays had two great hitters in Fred McGriff and Tony Fernandez, but the front office decided a shakeup was necessary. Both All-Stars were traded to the San Diego Padres for Roberto Alomar and Joe Carter in 1990. Alomar spent 5 seasons in Toronto and was the cornerstone piece of their World Series championship teams in 1992 and 93. Carter also hit the infamous walk-off home run in Game 6 of the 1993 World Series to help Toronto defend its title.
Here's a pitch on the way, a swing and a belt, left field, way back, Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
McGriff and Fernandez enjoyed their fair share of success in San Diego as well. Both played in the All-Star game in 1992 as members of the Padres, while McGriff led the National League in homers that same season. And number 1, Eli Manning for Phillip Rivers. The San Diego Chargers drafted Manning first overall in 2004, but he expressed no desire to play for them. The New York Giants drafted Rivers 4th overall, and the teams flipped quarterbacks while linebacker Sean Merriman and kicker Nate Kading went to San Diego. Eli emerged as a true franchise quarterback for New York, leading them to Super Bowl 42 and 46 championships. Merriman was a 3-time Pro Bowler in San Diego, and Phillip Rivers emerged as a solid NFL quarterback. Through his first 13 seasons in San Diego, Rivers tossed 45,833 yards and 314 touchdowns and turned a longtime loser into AFC West champions in 2006, 7, 8, and 9. What other sports trades benefited both teams? Join us in the comments section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.